Bass player. You know, in the jam sessions, I always played bass. I wanted to be a bass player too. And man, it messed my fingers up. The trumpet, that's an instrument I can't understand. 3 valves and playing all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's a mystery.
Oh, records, right.
John and I were listening to those 7/8 records in my living room, that tone arm. When we got the 7/8 record, 37 cents a piece. Black and shiny. When we finished, it was dull and gray.
Beyond excited to welcome to our home Mr. Benny Golson.
As part of our in-school jazz program, a program that we do across schools in Greater Cincinnati, we are honored to have Mr. Benny Golson here for your master class today. Mr. Golson just turned 88 years young last week.
No. I'm 39. As I sit here and I look at all of you, somehow I see myself in retrospect. John Coltrane, he was an alto player, and he sounded just like a fellow named Johnny Hodges, who played with Duke Ellington for years. Beautiful sound. So we had a living room with a big record player in it, and that's what we did all day long. He used to sleeping in the same bed in the YMCA to save money. You know, things like that happen. You play a job and you don't get paid, the owner runs out, or 2 or 3 people came to the venue. Things did change dramatically, especially for John. He was always a step ahead of the rest of us. When we get to where he was somewhere else. And when we got there, he was somewhere else. And he was always like that. It was like his life depended on playing that saxophone. He used to practice and go to sleep with it in his mouth, laying in the bed. Why are you here? That's a probative question. I'd like to hear some responses. Why are you here? Now, what do you have to do while you're here? You're here now, and you want to do these things. What is it that you have to do? You have to work hard at what you want to do and become. It's not. This is not automatic. If it were automatic, if I could have gotten a pill and taken it and gone to bed and woke up and have all this, now man, I would have paid $1,000 for those pills. You know, we're not born with these abilities that we want to have. We have to work hard, and we have to put the time in, and we have to have an open mind. We have to learn to listen. We don't want to sound the same 20 years later the way we sounded 20 years ago. We want to go forward. Everything goes forward. I mean, I used to have hair, and it disappeared. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good, good. Yeah, they're on their way. You're in good shape. I don't have to worry about you guys. This teacher comes to situations like this, and sometimes at my age, I learn from you. Why? Because you're young and you're going ahead with new direction. The mind is capacious. The mind is never settled down. And what's happening as a creative person, a musician, you're giving birth to things that never had an existence before. Well, when you compose a tune, yeah, you're creating something that never had a beginning. That's dangerous to become satisfied. You know, you become satisfied and it's like falling overboard, and the ship sails over the horizon without you, and then you tread water as long as you can and you're gone. Like John Coltrane, he always thought, and Sonny Rollins, yeah, maybe I can say it better. And that's the incentive. That's an engine that pulls you forward all the time. We like different kinds of music. And if you're a rock and roller, what's wrong with that? Play it the best you can. Be the best rock and roller in town. But be good whatever direction you want to go. Otherwise, you're playing yourself cheap and the music cheap. I wrote this song, Along Came Betty. I knew I was going to marry that girl. Whew! One day I woke up and Betty was gone. So what happened? I played Washington, D.C. and I met another girl. And her name wasn't Betty, her name was Bobby. Do you get the alliteration? Betty, Benny, Bobby. But I was slick this time. See? Not marrying Betty turned out to be the most narrow escape in my life. So, but I was a little smarter this time. I married Bobby, and that was 58 years ago. Yeah, I made the right decision. Bobby Blue Bland backbeat to it. Now the audience before that, they were sitting there like this, and then they started doing like this. And then when we came in, da-da, da-da, they got up and started dancing and knocking the drinks over. And he looked over and said, I'll be damned. And he played that tune. Everybody had to play blues. I don't care who it was. They had to play Blues March. And Along Came Betty. Yeah, those two tunes. I would think I was in a nightclub listening to Miles Davis. Great. Great, yeah. That's encouraging to hear something sound this way with high school students. Yeah, they've got a long way to go, and the way they're moving, they're going to be on the moon soon. Great, great, great. I love it. The trumpet and the guitar, they're considered ensemble. The two instruments playing. They were playing exactly together. The intonation was the same, and their punctuation was the same. Long notes, short notes, and that's important when you're playing with more than one instrument, that you're all playing on the same page. That's important. Did you notice the sound of the trumpet? A warm sound. She wasn't playing a volley of notes, but the notes that she was playing were warm, a nice warm trumpet sound. And that's a plus. I think all of you have a good future. Stay on it. And remember, nothing is automatic. You have to work. Who said that? She said it. Yeah, you have to work at it. It's not automatic. So stay on it and don't be discouraged. You're going to have some bad moments. It happens to all of us. But let's hope that the good moments overwhelm the bad moments. And don't be discouraged. Don't be easily discouraged. Autumn Leaves steps out of the bounds of the blues. It's a little more involved than the blues. And I'm sure you noticed as the tune went along, they stayed within the bounds. They never lost the identity of Autumn Leaves. And that's quite an accomplishment because they're still young. And they've got a lot to learn, but they're on track if they can follow those guidelines to play chords like this tune demands and have something to say. And they had something to say. Did you hear that joke about the trombones? The fellow had his trombone in the back of his car in the trunk, and he stopped by to go hear this jam session, and he went in knowing that his trombone was safe in the trunk, but he was in there so long he got a little worried. And when he came out and opened the trunk to see if his horn was safe, there were two trombones.